What's up, everybody? It is Franco with Show Me Sound, bringing you another video, and today we are talking about why you need more sound than you think for your wedding. So let's get down to the nuts and bolts of it. The size of your venue and your guest count are going to be the two largest factors that determine how much audio or the type of audio that you need for your wedding, for your event. Our bodies are made up of 60% water, so it's easy to imagine why adding more bodies into a space is going to make it more complicated for sound to travel through said space. And not only is it just a bunch of bodies in the room, but it is the noise that the individuals are producing that make a collective disturbance to whatever audio you're trying to broadcast to the room as a whole. Every venue has different considerations to take into account when you are factoring for the dispersion of audio in that specific space. But later on in this video, I'm going to give you some pretty tried and true recommendations about what's going to work best for most spaces. Simply put, sound waves spread out as they travel. So the further away you are from the source of that sound, typically the quieter it will be. So as you can imagine, a larger venue with more space to cover is naturally going to have more quiet points in the room as compared to, say, a smaller venue, a more intimate venue might not require as much sound. Other factors that definitely come into play when thinking about how sound is going to travel in a room consist of the height of the ceilings or what type of material is used on the floors, the walls, again, the number of people in the space. All of these things are going to have a factor in how sound spreads. I'm sure that you've also seen in most proper DJ setups, the speakers are also up higher. The reason we do this is it allows the sound waves to travel over everyone's head and, of course, keep that horn of the speakers above ear level just to prevent any sort of hearing loss for people that might want to get a little bit too close to the setup. Sound waves travel in an up and down, peaks and valleys pattern, so adding that extra height to the speakers allows us to reach further points of the room. While it might be beneficial to understand how sound moves throughout the space, or the factors that can impact how the sound is traveling, I think if you're watching this video, it's less because of the science behind everything, but more so what is the added benefit of increasing the sound in a space. And that's what we're going to talk about next. If you've ever been to a wedding or an event and you've sat further away from where the DJ is set up and you have any issue hearing what the person speaking on the microphone is saying, whether that be the DJ or maybe the best man giving a toast, chances are they did not have the right audio installation for that room. The last thing that you want to do at your wedding is have your guests feel like they need to strain to hear what's going on. Not only does this create a distraction in the room, because then everyone at their individual tables is trying to figure out, what did he just say? But it takes the focus out of the moment. So again, that example of maybe your best man giving a toast, if people can't hear what he is saying, and that's the only thing that's happening in that moment, good luck keeping their attention if they can't hear. Having the right speaker set up, the right sound solution for your wedding also has a direct impact on the type of attention that your dance floor gets, the amount of action happening for the celebratory portion of the night. If the sound is too thin or things are too quiet, you're just going to see the energy get sapped and drained from the room. And as we mentioned earlier in this video, the more bodies in the room, the more space of the room, the more sound is required to really give the music that you're playing that night the punch that brings the energy to your dance floor experience. So all of that being said, there are a few tried and true solutions that we recommend within certain parameters to most of the couples or companies or organizations that we provide sound for. Incorporating wireless technology and utilizing that with satellite speakers that we place at the further reaches of a large venue or the quiet points of the room allows us to have better even audio distribution throughout the room, which is particularly important for any sort of welcome, toast, blessings, announcements, etc. When you're incorporating these additional speakers at the further points of the room, it also allows your DJ the flexibility to not have to push their speakers harder to reach the far end of the room, which in turn prevents your guests that are sitting close to the DJ from having to rush and plug their ears every time your DJ gets on the microphone to make an announcement. Even audio distribution is key. On top of that, the speakers that we use for this solution of satellite speakers throughout the space that we're providing sound for, they're battery powered, which allows us a lot of flexibility in terms of where they can be installed. We don't have to simply chase an outlet. Another option that is definitely worth considering if you have a larger space or an outdoor venue is incorporating additional subwoofers into the mix, especially if you're a fan of modern music, or again, if you're working in a very large room or an outdoor space. That low end of the music dissipates very, very easily. To counteract that, the more bodies in the room, typically what we suggest is if it's over 200 guests, incorporating an additional subwoofer into the mix to maintain the integrity of the original sound design and give it that extra kick on the dance floor. Cannot recommend extra subwoofers for larger rooms or larger gatherings enough. It really gives that dance floor the punch that most people that are organizing a celebration are looking for. So as you can imagine, there is no one size fits all solution for every party, for every event, but the solution that works most of the time for the couples in the area that I serve that have a guest count of around 150 is the combination of one 18-inch subwoofer, our primary two 15-inch speakers that are near the DJ, and then the two satellite speakers that I mentioned earlier to hit the further points of the room. That combination works out best for most of the events that we do here at Show Me Sound. That being said, every event is unique. Every event has different guest counts and different preferences. And if you have any questions about what would work best for your event, for your wedding, please do not hesitate to reach out. The best way to reach me is by either leaving a comment on this video, sending us a message on whatever platform you're watching this on, or simply just shoot me an email, franco@showmesound.com, and I'd be happy to help. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it's shed some light into the different considerations that need to come into play when you're planning out the sound for your wedding, for your event. And I'll look forward to seeing you on a dance floor soon. Peace.